Welcome. Pop in. Lean in. Today, I am going to give you the keys to your kingdom. Everything that you've been looking for. And it comes from one of my favorite books, Think and Grow Rich. A whole chapter on it called Autosuggestion. And I remember when I first heard this term, I was like, what? 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 But it is one of the 13 principles of success that Napoleon Hill talks about. And I dare you to go and speak with a successful person that doesn't do this in some way, shape, or form. It is the way that we influence our subconscious mind through self-talk. You know how we've talked about how we have two images, right? The way we see ourselves, the way we talk to ourselves, and the way we portray ourselves to others, right? You are talking to yourself and auto-suggesting to yourself constantly. It's kind of like self-hypnosis. And it is powerful. And this is why I always say to you, be careful what you say to yourself because you're always listening. You're always listening. Autosuggestion is the way we feed our mind the information geared towards creating our specific beliefs. The reason why you believe anything is because someone auto-suggested it into you at a young age, and then you just kept auto-suggesting it to yourself. Like affirmations, when I give you guys affirmation tips, affirmations are a perfect example of auto-suggestion. And when we repeat them continuously in a relaxed, trance-like state, this is when affirmations get embedded into our subconscious. And then it can propel our positive belief system. But auto-suggestion, guys, it's more than just words. In fact, when you repeat them regularly with intent, they build and strengthen the neural pathways in your brain. Like neuroplasticity is the ongoing formation of the brain. And it can be influenced throughout life, no matter your age. So if you're going, I'm too old to auto-suggest, you're not. Your brain is still changing constantly. So what do you want to change it into? You decide. This is why I'm even always talking about doing things for your brain and for your cells, right? Our bodies are constantly evolving and growing all the time. You're either contributing to them or you're hindering it. So just like and you hear lots of people talk about, eat a certain way and move your body every day and sleep and manage stress and don't surround yourself with a ton of chemicals, right? Those things don't serve your body, but they're also not serving your mind. And the whole point is really looking at things from a holistic perspective, right? But neuroplasticity is real. Google it. So good. But it's done through your thoughts and your behaviors and external factors like nutrition. But basically, our thoughts can actually change the structure of our brains and strengthen the areas of the brain we're activating through affirmations. So again, what are you affirming to yourself? By practicing positive thoughts and patterns, we could really enhance the chance of those thoughts becoming real. Pretty cool, right? Like creating affirmations in line with your goal. Here I go again. Crazy to Lynn, talking about goals again. Is it? Is it that crazy? Or are you sick of not knowing where you're going? Are you sick of like hopping in your car every day and like not knowing whether to turn left or right and just driving in circles? Right? Like this is key. We need to know where we're going, like an actual real life know where you're going. And not like some low ball, uninspired, maybe I could do it dream. You have to know where you're going, and then you know what to auto-suggest. What you believe is what you become. And embedded negative beliefs that you may have will self-sabotage even your best attempts. And you do not understand why. Have you ever had that? Where you think you know what you want and you take action to go get it, and then you don't get it? Oh, better luck next time. For me, creating affirmations and repeating them over and over and over again, as well as being conscious of how I speak to myself, has been a game changer. Mix this with imagination and faith and joining forces with things like masterminding. That's your long-term success plan. That's why every single one of those is in my coaching program, because they're mandatory. But then you wonder, how do I create the affirmations that I want? First, you need to build an autosuggestion habit. And you'll know that you need to develop a habit if you catch yourself experiencing or saying things like if you're talking negatively about yourself, if you have a lack of self-confidence, if you're finding excuses not to pursue something, if you're relying on other people's opinions too much, if you feel like you're in a slump or being negative, if you're feeling stuck, if you do notice yourself in any of these feelings, states of mind, I highly recommend you create a few affirmations that you need to repeat to yourself daily. Okay? Does any of those resonate with you? Any of the things I just said? Research shows all those things resonate with 95% of the population. So this could actually be the answer to your prayers. Step 1, you need to have a desire and faith. You must have a burning, unrelenting desire and faith in order for your affirmations to work. That doesn't mean you won't have days where you might doubt your ability. Happens to the best of us. But it doesn't mean that you will continue to take steps towards your goal and your dreams, even in the face of doubt and fear. You're going to keep going, even if you're having a day. Your affirmations will be a great support to you, I promise you, even on the hardest of days. And your awareness will constantly grow. You also, with your affirmations, you need to be specific. State what it is that you want and by what date that you want it by. Like, get really specific. Don't worry about how it's going to happen, although some people try to figure out how it's going to happen. I can promise you, anytime I've tried to plan it all out and figure out how it's going to happen, never happens that way. So I pretty much adopted the belief that how isn't up to me. But be more open-ended. Allow the universe to show up in unexpected ways. And it is so cool when it does. Like, so cool. So if you said, on or before January 1st of 2021, I have $50,000 in my bank from various sources of income. In return for this money, I will offer, and then, whatever your services are, because there's no such thing as getting something for nothing. Okay, so scratch that right out of your mind. Okay, and your services, you might be going like, oh, but I'm a painter. There's no way I have $50,000 in my bank being a painter. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about how the $50,000 is going to come to you. You just show up and serve the way you serve. Okay? But just get really detailed and know what you want. Be clear with what you desire. Set a deadline and speak it in present tense. Like, speak it like it's happened. It's already happened. It's done. It's done. And then repeat it over and over and over. Morning and night. As often as possible throughout the day. Okay, and don't be shy to incorporate different affirmations in your everyday activities. Repeat it during your workouts, during a meditation, do some mirror work. Fall in love with your goal, with what you desire. When you first start dating someone, how they're like all you think about, and it's just so romanticized. Replace that with an actual goal. Fall in love with it. Think about it all the time. And take action. Speaking your affirmations isn't going to do it. And even I'm giving you guys these tips and you're like, oh yeah, okay, I got it. That's what I'm going to do. On a conscious level, you get it. But again, good chunk of you, like over 90% of you, aren't going to do it. It's true. You're not going to take action. Speaking your affirmations won't be enough either if you actually do start doing it. It's not going to be enough to fill your bank account overnight. But I promise you, over time, and you have to hold the faith, this is where faith comes in, you are going to be given other opportunities. So maybe for the painter, it's a contract for painting for the next, I don't know, for a housing company or something. I don't know. I'm not a painter. Who knows? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about how it's going to happen. Just keep showing up and letting the universe know what you desire and what you're going to do in exchange of it. And remember that these affirmations are just one tool in a box of unlimited resources at your disposal. Whether it's visualization, autosuggestion, masterminding, daily study, having a coach. These are all things that you have that will propel you forward. The real key is combining all these elements to really catapult you so much faster. You hear me talk about quantum leaps. They have the ability to give you a quantum leap. And all of them are available to you. Bob and I have them all nicely wrapped up in my coaching program. You just get them all. But you want to understand that it still is going to take time to take control of your destiny. And really think, like, can we really control our destiny? Every great poet and philosopher has told us that we can. And it's done in exactly the way that I explained it. Decide what you want, write it out, repeat it over, expect the desire to materialize, expect it. Repeat it in the present tense over and over and over. When you do that, you're depositing an image of what you want in your subconscious. You've planted the seed. And the law of gestation says every seed planted must come to fruition. Impress that image with strong, positive feelings of gratitude. I am so happy and grateful now that, and say your goal. When you do this, it's like watering a plant and giving it sunshine. You're giving it the energy it needs to materialize. And the beauty of this process is you don't even have to know how to get what you want. You don't have to know. And all the writings and teachings and books all show us that the how is irrelevant. It's not up to you how it all happens. Your job is to just know what you want. And again, the bulk of people have no freaking clue what they want. And if they do tell me what they want, because I talk to people every day about what they want. I love to hear what they want. And they'll tell me, I want to be earning $100,000. I hear that one all the time. And I'm like, well, how much do you make right now? Or what's the most you've ever made? $80,000. Then how is $100,000 a goal? Right? That's not a goal. The most you've ever made is already 80. 100,000 is not a goal. Inspire me, will you? Because if I'm not inspired by it, there's no way you're inspired by it. And I haven't even told you yet that it takes no more effort to earn $100,000 as it does to earn $1 million. It takes no more effort. Because it's all energy, right? If this is mind-blowing to you, show up for one of my free courses. You'll love it. We have money manifestor ones all the time. Money mindset. The how is not up to you, though. What matters is how you think and feel. By thinking about what you want in the present tense, having positive feelings and taking it one step at a time, trusting the process. Guys, the how takes care of itself. You just have to be open and listening. But again, so many people are like running around like a chicken with their head cut off. They're not listening to anything. They've got a to-do list, even though the to-do list probably has nothing to do with what you actually want. Right? Seriously, grab your to-do list for today. Grab it. What's on it? Is it going to get you your goal? Probably not. Right? Even if, and I hear this all the time, Delyn, I work for a corporate, I have a salary. I can't earn more money. I still want you to understand money is coming through that organization. It can come through other organizations too. You just have to be open to it. But no creating to-do lists and filling every single second of your day for something that's only going to get you something that lasts for 30 years. Right? And this is where, like, some people will be like, my goal is to retire. retire from life? You retire from life, that's called death. And we either, as humans, we create or we disintegrate. Fact. Your goal can't be retirement. That's not inspiring either. That just means you bust your ass for 30 years and then you stop doing that. And then chances are after 30 years of that habit, you've defined yourself by that role and then you really feel lost. Anybody know anybody that's happened to? I know lots of people that's happened to. Don't let that be you. There's nothing wrong with doing something for 30 years. Don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with it. Retiring and not having a purpose, that's where something's wrong. You have to know your desires. All of your likes, your dislikes, your experiences, all of it was a gift to you. And you are obligated to run with it. So I want you to even take a few minutes and just think of something that you truly want to be, do, or have. And then just follow the steps I gave you. As you write down your desire, think about how you'll feel when you have it. And actually feel the feelings. Hold the positive feelings as you read the statement throughout the day. And really feel the energy and the excitement coming up for you as you read it. See your desire right in front of you. Use your imagination. Feel it, touch it, smell it, hear it, taste it. And know that that desire is yours. You have to have 150% conviction that it is already yours. That belief. And if you have doubts, just do it. Try it. Just do what I'm saying. If you can't bring yourself to believe that you'll achieve the goal that you've written down, that's okay. You don't have to right now. But I promise you, as you start to repeat it and massage it and own it and pay attention, all the things will be happening around you to make it materialize. Some people believe that they can become a multimillionaire the day after they graduate from college. And others may never believe it. But I promise you, the ones that believe it will have the opportunities open to them for them to become multimillionaires. But what's happening when you want to be that millionaire, but you don't believe it will ever happen? What's happening there is you're sending out conflicting signals. Right? So when you send out these signals, because your energy, you vibrate an intention of making the money you desire, but then you send counter intentions that you'll never make that much money. And the second the intention is more emotionalized, whichever one is, because that's what part of your paradigm is, right? It throws you off course. And it says that you won't get what you want until you believe and get emotionally involved with the fact that you will. And this is why, and take a look at your results. Your bank statement's always a really good example. I always like to use that one because it's right there in black and white, right? And you can look at it year after year after year. And you might get slow gains, but it's not actually quantum leaping you. People do quantum leaps in their money all the time. I'm an example of that, actually. My paradigm was set here. And then for years and years. So even when I worked in corporate healthcare, I would get raises as I would get different jobs. And every year I would get my 2% increase, right? I would keep going, right? But it wasn't until I reprogrammed my paradigm and my self-image that I passed the threshold. Because even after I went out on my own, my paradigm was still set for, say, like 100K, right? It was set there. So I wasn't thinking thoughts of $1 million. I was thinking $100,000 thoughts, getting $100,000 ideas. But I promise you, when I started entertaining $1 million ideas, $1 million thoughts, $1 million behaviors, that's when I was able to earn $1 million. But it wasn't going to happen with the $100,000 version of me. So if you're having doubts, I encourage you just to start off by even find a goal that's just in your sweet spot. Okay, the entire process of setting goals and taking action to control your destiny is about growth. Are you investing in yourself to grow? Like really, truly, what are you doing to grow yourself right now? If you would have asked me that, guess what I would have told you? Well, I read books. I go to seminars. Awesome. I follow people like you're following me right now. But I can tell you, because this is what our school system teaches us too, right? I would read the book, check, done, read it. And guess what? I didn't apply any of it. I may have applied a little bit, just enough to get me that 2% higher. But I never actually did what I said I was going to do. That was my personal development. I bought books and I read them. It's pretty much my entire school career. And my entire school career, I've been rewarded for being a really good regurgitator. I can read any book and then tell you exactly what it's about. And then you give me an A+. And then I do that for years. And then you give me letters at the end of my name. Score. But I wasn't actually applying it. I mean, mind you, those letters got me the job, which then everything happens for a reason. Education is sacred. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying we are rewarded for regurgitating information. So if I say to you, what are you doing for personal development? And you say, well, I read books. I'm not buying it. You're probably reading books like I read books. I listen to podcasts. Great. You're probably listening to podcasts like I listen to podcasts. Right? Yes, when you are surrounding yourself with positive material, you are raising your vibration 100%. I'm not going to deny that. But your paradigm is still controlling you 96% of the time. And that's where autosuggestion comes in. So do something to fix it. Get quiet. Ask good questions. Oil up. Let the tension flow out of your body. And make a list of things that you would want if money or time wasn't an object. Because that's always the number one reason why we don't do things. Right? Oh, I don't have the time. Oh, I don't have the money. Wasn't that kind of the point of doing something more? So that you are doing something to then get you more time and more money? Yes? And really start to rate them when you have this list of stuff you want. On a scale of 1 to 5, rate your level of desire. Like, how much do you actually want them? And at the end of it, you want a goal that excites you and scares you at the end. And then you get to look at what do you need to believe in order to get there. If you don't have a burning desire, I want you to. But for this exercise to work, you have to first know what you want. You have to. I talk to people every day about this, and most are even lowballing their desires. If you're listening to this, you're like, oh, yeah, it was me. Lynn told me I was lowballing it. It's okay. You're not alone. Most do. I did. I was making $100K a year. My goal was to make like $200K. And you're going, but Delyn, that's like $100,000 more. Yeah, but with what I wanted to do with it, that wasn't gonna get me what I wanted either. And I was still just gonna think $100,000 ideas. You have to know what you want. If you don't, reach out. I got you. And just know whenever you start to get to it, fear is gonna sneak in, and that's okay. That's normal. It's normal, totally. The key is knowing what to do with that fear. You can auto-suggest that right out of you too. But you want to, at the end of it, once you see the magic start to happen and your goal is like showing up right in front of you, this is when things start to shift in your life. And then your faith develops even more, right? And then you go for more goals, more goals, more goals. And this is where you see people like Elon Musk is a great example, right? Guy just keeps creating new things, but he gets it. And now he has faith and knows what he's doing. That's why all the actors, right? They are getting like all these awesome roles. And your dreams, you'll start actually going bigger and bigger and bigger. I've told you guys the story of when I manifested 500,000 back in 2019. I'm not lowballing anymore. Now that I've done that, I'm like, what else can I do? Let's go for 5 million. And then I'll go for 50 million. Who knows? But your expectations for abundance, that it's actually coming into your life, will increase as it comes. And this isn't crazy talk. Guys, this is real. And anyone can do it. You don't have to have a bunch of letters at the end of your name. But I can tell you, even if you do have a bunch of letters, that's your paradigm, and thinking isn't enough. Knowing isn't enough. But before long, once you start that momentum, right? Any burning desire you'll know you can just go for it. But your success is only a decision away. You have to decide to go for the goal and focus on it. Decide and then auto-suggest that desire. And again, if you don't know what that is, I look forward to hearing from you. I am here to help. This has been such a cool conversation. I hope that you've gotten lots of juicy nuggets out of it. Thank you so much for joining me. Hello there.